Hello friends, I am Dr. Ranjit Pawar. Welcome you in this video on the topic of JavaScript strings. In JavaScript, the strings are used for storing and manipulating text. No separate type exists for single character. The string's internal format is always UTF-16. A string represents 0 or more characters that are written inside the quotes. So, in this video, you will study string concepts with string methods. The learning outcome is to understand the concept of strings in JavaScript. At the end of this video, you will be able to learn string basics in JavaScript, strings as object, how strings are immutable, string properties and methods, and JavaScript program to implement string methods. Coming to introduction part of JavaScript strings. String is a primitive data type in JavaScript. A string is textual content. A string is sequence of letters, numbers, special characters, and arbitrary values, or combination of all. Strings can be created by enclosing a string literal either within quotes, single quote, double quote, or backticks as shown in example. Single quote and double quotes are practically the same and you can use either of them. Backticks are generally used when you need to include variables or expressions into a string. This is done by wrapping variables or expressions with $variable or expression syntax as shown in an example. A string can also be treated like zero index based character array. Since string is a character index, it can be accessed using for loop or for of loop. You can see in the example how my string array elements are accessed using the for loops and displayed on the web page document. In JavaScript, strings are immutable. That means the characters of string cannot be changed. You can see in example. Hello string is initialized to the str variable. In the next line of the code, when we are updating a zeroth character or zeroth index character of a str string with a capital H, and when we are printing the str value, it displays hello string having the H is a small cap instead of capital H. That means the characters of a string cannot be changed. This is immutable. However, you can assign the variable name to the new string. So you can see in example 2. So new string that is hello with the H capital is assigned to the string A, and that is printed on a web page. In JavaScript, strings can be used as an object. Normally, JavaScript strings are primitive values created from literals. So, in example, where first name is equal to one string John in a double quotation. But strings can also be defined as object with the keyword new. In a second example, where x is equal to welcome and where y is equal to new string. When we use the type of function to get the type of the particular variable, so what we get, so type of x will return the strings, but when we get the type of y, it will return object. So let's consider some points before defining strings as an object. String object slows down the execution speed. So it is recommended that don't create strings as objects. The new keyword complicates the code and this can produce some unexpected results. So whenever you have to use a string, so you can use as a string without using as a object. Here we have to study some string methods. The first method is char at. The char at function returns the character at x position within the string. The next one is char code at. This function will return Unicode value of the character at specific position within the string. Concat function combines one or more strings into existing one and returns the combined string. Original string is not modified. Then index of function, it searches and if found returns the index number of the search character or substring within the string. If not found, -1 is returned. The position is an optional argument specifying the position within the string to begin the search. The default value is 0. The next function is last index of. It searches and if found, it returns the index number of the searched character or substring within the string. Searches the string from end to the beginning. If not found, -1 is returned. The position is an optional argument specifying the position with the string to begin the search. The default position is string length -1. The next function is local compare function. It compares two strings in a new current local. The next function is match. It executes the search for the match within the string based on a regular expression. It returns an array of information or null if no match is found. Moving on to JavaScript string functions, let's understand replace function. Replace, it searches and replaces the regular expression portion with the replaced text inside. The next is search function. It tests for match in a string. It returns the index of the match or -1 if not found. The next is to divide the string. The method is slice. Slice returns a substring of a string based on the start and end index arguments, not including the end index itself. End is optional, and if none is specified, the slice includes all characters from the start to the end of string. The next is split function. This will split a string into many according to specified delimiters and returns an array containing each element. The optional limit is an integer that lets you specify the maximum number of elements to return. The next is substr. It has two parameters, start and length. This function returns the characters in a string beginning at the start and through the specified number of characters length. Length is optional and if omitted, up to the end of string is assumed. Substring. It returns the characters in a string between, from and to indexes, not including to itself. To is optional and if omitted, up to the end of string is assumed. To lowercase, This will return the string with all of its characters converted to lowercase. To uppercase, this will return the string with all of its characters converted to uppercase. The value of method returns the primitive value of the specified string object. The trim method removes white spaces from both sides of the string. Now, let's begin exploring string manipulation by concatenating two strings. When you concatenate a string, you form a new string from the two strings by placing a copy of the second string behind the copy of the first string. The new string contains all the characters from both the first and second string. You can also use concatenation operator, that is plus, to concatenate two strings. To retrieve the character from a given position, caret function is used, and to retrieve the position of the character in a given string, index of function is used. You can see in an example. Split function is used to divide the string into array of string elements. To copy the part of a string, substr or substring functions are used. So you can see in that program. To convert a string to number and vice versa, parseInt and toString functions are used respectively. And to change the cases of the strings to uppercase and to lowercase, functions are used. So here you can see in the program how these methods are implemented, and finally when we run that particular program, you can see the output. Now let's summarize strings in JavaScript. JavaScript strings are primitive values and immutable. Literal strings are delimited by single quotes, double quotes, or backticks. The length property returns the length of string. Use greater than equal to, less than equal to operators to compare two strings. Here we conclude our video on JavaScript strings. In this video, we took a brief look at what JavaScript strings are. Also, we have discussed the syntax of creating string along with different methods of a string object. Thank you.